morning. So today I felt that it would be a good idea if you folks actually talk to a CPA, since you're supposed to have a CPA in the group. You ask me questions and I make up the answers, and they sound great, you don't know the difference, so that's okay. But Steve actually knows the right answer, and I thought it'd be a good idea to introduce Steve Newman. He started Newman Company, well, bought Newman Company 40 years ago or so, and has been a friend of mine for 40 years, and I love working with him. And so I'm going to turn it over to Steve, and we're going to do CPA Jeopardy.
Okay, thank you for having me here. This is fantastic attendance and location. I'm really glad to be with you folks. I'm in the B&I chapter, Beechwood Pepper Pike. So we're going to play CPA Jeopardy. Carol Merrill here is going to help us and to expedite the process. Sorry. Okay, so David, you're going to pick, and then we're going to...
So I'll pick a category, and if you know the answer, raise your hand. If you win, you get $100,000. So let's start with IRS, the good, the bad, and the ugly. 1.
Okay, IRS prepares your substitute tax return.
False.
No, what's the question?
You got to ask the question.
What is no? That's not true.
No.
No. IRS prepares your substitute tax return if you've got your head in the sand and you've got good intentions to file your tax return. They're not going to wait any longer. They're going to prepare it for you. And it's not pretty. Picture this. You're self-employed. You get some 1099s. It's $400,000. Let's say it's $400,000. You got $380,000 of expenses. But you haven't filed, so they don't know. Their assumption, you got $400,000 of net income. They prepare a substitute tax return, they send you assessments, the nasty grams accelerate, they apply failure to file penalties, failure to pay penalties, interest. You're up to your eyeballs in trouble, and it was all because you didn't file your taxes on time.
But since you guys tried, there you go. Oh, you too. Number 2.
Number 2, IRS calls you at home to tell you you're going to jail.
Yes.
Raise your hand if it's happened. How many
There you
people
go.
have had that happen?
Do it by mail.
Okay.
What's a scam? Who else said that?
You bud here.
Okay.
All right. So, of course, it's not true. Here's a couple of things. 1, IRS doesn't call you. 2, they don't do email. So if you get an email from IRS, it's not them. It's an imposter. I've had plenty of people call me and they say, in a panic, IRS, they called me, they said, I owe money, I gotta pay. Don't pay, don't talk to them. It's a scam.
We'll talk a little bit about retiring in style.
Okay, you're rich in retirement. You got a lot of money, but there are no taxes whatsoever. Question is?
What is false?
The question is?
What is having a really good retirement plan?
Well, that's true, but what is a retirement that's full of Roth IRA money? Right? Roth IRA money is one of the best things. You don't get a deduction now, but it grows and grows. Steve helps it flourish and blossom, and when you take the money out, there's no taxes. There's no required minimum distributions, and it's a fantastic asset to leave to your kids, and even better, to your grandkids.
Talk about converting.
And if you've got pre-tax money, and you're interested in having some Roth IRA money, right? It's a form of diversification, pre-tax, after-tax, never to be taxed. You can take pre-tax money, convert it to a Roth, pay some tax, but you're solidifying the fact you'll never pay tax on that money. And as long as we're on Roth IRAs, The very best kind of Roth IRA is for your children. I did this with my kids. Teenagers, any kind of job, put money into a Roth IRA based on their earnings. Can you imagine? They don't need the deduction. That you plant a seed, watch it grow. We want to go ahead,
What's the most
Steve.
critical part of that? Tax plan.
Well, of course. Yeah, think about the tax
I would
money.
get 2 candy bars for that.
We've got $21 trillion in debt. What are we gonna do in this country? Are taxes eventually gonna go up? Insulate yourself. Plant those Roth IRA seeds. Okay, self-employment tax. Who in this room is self-employed? Of course. And are any of you sole proprietors, like single-member LLCs? Okay, so you know what self-employment tax is. One of the most annoying taxes, and what it is, it's Social Security and Medicare tax as an employee, and then you're also the employer, Social Security and Medicare taxes. 15.3% of your profit. It hits pretty hard. So that's where estimated taxes come in. It's a pay-as-you-go plan. If you try to pay it all in April of the next year, 1, you might not have it. 2, you end up with penalties and interest because you're late. You got to pay it evenly throughout the year.
Let's try this.
Aha. Compound interest by Albert Einstein. What's the question?
What's the most powerful force in the universe?
It's something like that, the most powerful force in the universe, the 8th wonder of the world. Because compound interest, why is it so wonderful? Start early. It keeps, you know, that thing about where the employer says, or someone says, I'll work for you. A penny the first day, 2 cents the second day, and just keep doubling it. And I forget how many days it takes. Pretty soon you got $1 million.
31 days.
31 days.
$364.75.
Okay? 2 minutes. Okay. Aha. Can anyone read this? Who can read this?
Newman Co.
This
A
is something
Newman-
special to us only.
A Newman
It's a
special.
sandwich.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like a sandwich. It sounds like a blue plate special. So we rescue people. We really don't want to rescue people, but we do. We'd really rather help people be in control, find a favorable path to the end of the year, every year, year after year after year. But sometimes people get in trouble, and we rescue them. It could be an overwhelming amount of taxes. They stop opening the mail. It's a black cloud. It ruins, they lose all their motivation and momentum in their business because they got that black cloud. Bring your troubles to us. We will turn chaos into order. You'll be very grateful. You'll be very relieved.
And so will the IRS.
Yeah, they will, really, because IRS wants people who are in control. When we call and say, hi, we have the power of attorney for this client, they're so happy because they don't have to deal with someone who is emotional, can't make good decisions, is out of their mind, maybe angry, and sometimes we do an offer and compromise. I haven't done a lot, a handful, maybe 6. Every offer and compromise I've ever done, I've been successful. I had one that's $800,000. We settled for $22,000. Another one was $260,000. We settled for $27,000. Another one that was $85,000. We settled for $5,000. The rule is, if you can't service your IRS obligation in 5 years through income or through assets right now, they're going to listen. Because they want to take an out-of-control case, resolve it, and clean it from their slate. They don't necessarily evaluate, oh, is this a good or bad deal? They know that they've cleaned something up that's been festering.
Anybody got any questions?
Yes, sir.
Wasn't there just some kind of deal where if you owed money, you could negotiate it, there was a deadline, and I think it's like this week or something, where they'll negotiate with you from old tax?
It's today.
today, okay.
Yeah, it's the state of Ohio. It's an amnesty program, but it is only for taxes that they don't know about. So like, let's say you've been ruminating about the fact that, ooh, I underreported my income, or I got a vendor's license, I got a business, I've been collecting sales tax and I haven't filed yet, and they don't know about it. Let's say you don't have a vendor's license, more like that. You've been collecting sales tax, they don't know about it. Come forward, get compliant,
Okay.
and they'll waive some penalties and interest.
If you were a business owner and you had to replace your HVAC for 2018, has anything changed that you can do now?
You mean in terms of like, what?
Like,
Oh, a deduction?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's more liberal rules for what's called Section 179, election expense property and bonus depreciation. I'm talking about after.
Anybody else? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What are good referral sources for you?
Good referral sources are gatekeepers and business owners, right? We all know what gatekeepers are. People who have influence. Steve Oxter, he's a gatekeeper. Bob Vecchio's
Vecchio.
Katie, David Rust. Lots of you are gatekeepers as we are. Yes, sir.
So I look at tax returns all the time. How could I look at a tax return and say to somebody, you should be talking to Newman, not me?
Oh, how do you know? Well, sometimes you don't know, but you do get a good sense by talking to people. Do they have trouble? Do they overreach? Or are they behind? Are they paying penalties? Just because someone owes taxes, it doesn't mean that there's mistakes. You just don't know. The devil's in the details. Yes, sir.
I use Newman Co. I just want to make a quick comment. I filed for sales tax ID so that I can start paying tax on any equipment that I sold and services that I performed. And I got a bill for $30,000 from the government. I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to do it myself and reached out, and they pointed me in the right direction, and it was changed to $60. And I gladly paid it, and now I know how to go about it every month, filing the
Yeah.
sales tax.
Oh, right. And here's the thing, when people become afraid and they don't open their mail, or they try to do stuff themselves and they think they can get 80% right, they think they can get 100% right, but they're 80% right. That last 20% can cost you a fortune. Commercial activity tax is a perfect one. People who don't file a commercial activity tax, they assess you a huge number to get your attention. But if you don't pay attention, at a certain point in time, it becomes real. And a lot of times people pay it just to make it go away. And they really don't know.
Thank you.